Viewers, in this video we're going to talk about the introduction to public relations. In this video we'll be talking about the definition of public relations, the fundamentals of public relation, characteristics of a public relation, and the types of the public that we deal in public relations. Start with the definition. The World Assembly of Public Relation Associations define public relation as the art and a social science of analyzing trends, predicting their consequences, counseling organizational leaders, and implementing the planned programs of action which will serve both the organization and the public interest. Public Relations Society of America. It says that PR is a strategic communication process that builds mutually beneficial relationship between the organization and its public. So let's start understanding the fundamental elements of PR. The first one is to inform the people. So it is the responsibility of the PR to inform the people and the publics that are like management, to the workers, to the communities, about the changes that are happening, about the new beginnings, about something, the policies which are meant to be changed, right? So it's the first function is to inform the people. Next is to persuade the people. Persuading the people about the changes which are supposed to happen, persuading the people about something which is good for them, persuading people with this, this should be done and this is exactly what should be done. And the third and the most important function of a public relation officer is integrating people. He should focus on towards that people should work together. They should have a feeling of belongingness. They should have a feeling of working towards a common goal. So these are the basic three principles that any PRO work towards. Let's talk about the various publics that are involved in public relations. So broadly, we classify the publics under the internal public as well as the external public. So internal publics are basically those people, those who work within the organization. So these are those type of public which are basically working onto the payrolls or which are directly within the organizations. For example, it's like shareholders, the people, those who invested the money, employees, those who are working within the organization, the distributors who are associated with your business, and your business partners. The only function that's important for the PR to work with internal public is to make them feel connected, to make them feel belonged. There are so many things that he'll be doing to make people just feel positive, and to build up the strong relationship within the organization and the internal public. Whereas the other set of public is the external public. Those who are not they are associated with us outside our organization. They are the people, those are not directly onto the payrolls, but these people are associated with their organizations. For example, consumers, they purchase our products, they are associated with us. Mass media, the media people, those who give coverages to us, the government who provides us licensing, financial institutions like banks, we have loans and approvals from them. Then there are community people, those who are working, those who live surrounding our working units. So we also need to have a very good connections with them too. The publics that internal and external public, and we can also classify these onto the major breakthrough. If we talk about the publics in PR, that will be shareholders, employees, banks, government, media, community. PR is deployed at many fields, for relationship building. And the first among them is the media relations. A PR professional is hired to maintain the good relations with the media people so that the company or the organization gets the good coverage in terms of, the newspaper publications or the space given to them into the television broadcasting channels. And the second place where the PRO are hired are basically to maintain the relationship with the employees. That forms the internal public of the organization, making them feel belong to the organization and making them stay happy, so that they give their 100% efforts towards achieving the goal in their organization. And the third function or the type of place where PR professionals are hired are basically the crisis management. To handle the crisis of the organization, certain companies has fixed come up with certain crisis, and to deal with it, how to get the things normalized. That is the role of a PRO. Next is the financial PR. There are PR hired to explain to the customers how the money in the banks need to be circulated, how they need to keep a good relationship with the financial officers, and how the finance need a good investment. So that regular relationship building is very important for the banks. Next comes the celebrity PR. These days all the celebrities, be that film stars, music stars, be that performers, singers, sports persons, they need PR people to maintain the image for them. It's very important to build up the image in front of the public. So that's very important aspect of a PR, to explain it to them, how they should behave publicly, where they should be attending the events, or so that's very important. Celebrity PR is a very active field nowadays. Then comes the government PR. There are DPROs, and then there are APROs, and there are PROs in the government organizations, so that the correct information can be passed out into the masses and the public. And the gap between the government and the masses could be, they could reduce it. The one side distortion of the image could be handled, right? Community building, right? The community which is connected to the organization or the company, it's very important to build up relationship with them. It's very important that they feel that the organization or the company is a part of them. So that takes another efforts of a PRO, and they're specifically hired to maintain the community relationships. Another type of public relation is the corporate communication. How the corporate is to be put up in front of the public, how it should be maintained, what should be its visual identity, how should be the logo, the corporate literature, the branding should be used, how the company's name to be and what's the reputation of the company, how people thinking about it. That's basically managing the corporate culture of the company, the corporate image of the company, right? And then comes the marketing relation. Right? That's very important field, because a lot of campaigning has to be done, and there are a lot of people involved in organizing a campaign. Now we would discuss about the characteristics of a PR, right? And the first one among them is that the PR is a profession, an art applied to a science, right? So that means it's a science because it is very strategic, and it is an art because it deals with the humans, which are very unpredictable, right? So PR concerns with the relations of a unit, because PR emphasizes more towards the relationship building, and that could be a building between an individual and a public, between a unit of the organization, between the departments. So it focuses more onto the relationship building. Next comes the relationship building between the organization and its public. That could be the masses, that could be the media, the external or the internal public that a PR deals with. Next point is that the PR is based on the reality and not images. You talk onto the basis of the facts. You don't make imagery things happen, right? What is factual, what is there in front of you, that you talk about and you focus on. You don't talk about something you cook up or you create images out of it. So next comes that it seeks the public approval, right, on the basis of the public interest. So generally PR tends to apply, adopt or implement those things which are for public interest and with their approval, because once the public approves what is being implemented, right, and they have a positive outlook towards it, it's easy for a PR to create an image out of it. So the next characteristic is a very important characteristic, that is the PR depends upon the application of a sciences like psychology, sociology and social psychology. Of course, because that deals with the image building, that deals with the psyche of the people, that how are they acting, how are they behaving, what are they thinking, what are the social trends, which way is the wave is the society moving on. That's very important for a PRO to understand. And the last point is it prepares various segments of the society for the coming developments before they get a future shock. So basically, they create a type of an atmosphere of receptivity, where there is certain development, and the people will be adaptable towards it.